we're ready.
Thank you. Welcome to the regular meeting of Hamilton City Council for January 15th, 2025, a little after 6 o'clock. We're here at 345 High Street in Hamilton. Roll call, please.
Moeller.
Present.
Pullman.
Present.
Fear.
Present.
Vaughn.
Present.
Ryan.
Present.
Nab.
Present.
Lauer.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. We're going to start off with an offering of prayer by Councilmember Carla Fear, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you are able.
I am the new year. I'm an unspoiled page in your book of time. I am your next chance at the art of living. I am your opportunity to practice what you learned about life during the last 12 months. All that you have sought and didn't find is hidden in me, waiting for you to search it, but with more determination. I am your opportunity to start anew. Lord, thank you for this new year and all the potential it holds. May we appreciate it and use it each day that comes to us. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We've got a special presentation this evening. We'll call it our snow event update with the Department of Public Works. And looks like we've got a good part of our great city team who did a great job.
We've got a few of us here. So we just want to give you a little update on the snow and ice control and the event that we had last week. Just going to do show a video that TV Hamilton put together for us. Jeff Archibald did a ride along with one of our drivers and did a fantastic short video. Some of you have already seen the video, but we wanted to show it again just to mainly say thank you for TV Hamilton for all they do for us. I mean, they're constantly building us up and showing what the city does, and it's just fantastic what they do. So we wanted to roll a video on that. Today we have Chris Haynes. He's one of our leaders. He's been here for a little over 26 years. He's one of the leaders that's just making the decisions on at the moment's notice that you have to. We have Ken Callahan. He's one of our mechanics, and he runs that department like a Swiss watch. I mean, we have a lot of older equipment. They keep it dialed in. They keep us rolling and keep us on the streets. And so we have him here. And then we have Eddie Welch. He's one of our crew leaders. Been here for about 15 years too. So just some of our seasoned snow fighting veterans are here. Some questions at the end if you guys have them. They're here, and we'd like to have that opportunity.
Great.
If you'll roll the video real quick.
That's a nice start.
So it's been a minute since we've had storms like we had last week, and we had two of them roll through. Between the first storm and the second storm, we got anywhere between 8 inches to 12 inches. It varies throughout the city, falls in different patterns on each side of the city, but 8 to 12 inches in the first one, and another 3 or 4 inches, just like 2 or 3 days later. The guys worked on it hard, got the vehicles back up and running after they got everything cleaned up from the first one, got ready for the second one. Just want to kind of go through sort of the operations of how we attack these things a little bit. This is how the city's kind of broken up. So we have it broken up into 10 routes. We hit those 10 routes with 17 trucks. We run 2 tandems on the east side and 2 tandems on the west side to make sure they get through all the state routes, get all that part clear, and then we have a truck in each one of the routes. And then we typically run things in about 12-hour shifts so we can kind of keep everybody fresh. That's a luxury that not every city has. There are some of them that weren't able to do that. I know Cincinnati struggled with that. But we have that luxury here, which is fantastic. So we can keep the guys fresh, keep everybody safe, run for 12 hours, have another crew come in and run for another 12 hours. Again, we have 17 trucks that we tackle it with in those 10 routes. Have 2 trucks that we run in smaller routes. Some of the streets that you know are very narrow and have a lot of cars on them because there's just, frankly, no other place for them to park. And so I rode along with one of our small plow riders this year, or this storm event, and literally most of the time we're going 2 to 5 miles an hour because it's unsafe to go any faster than that. So, and he's got a smaller truck, so he has to go back during one of these events like half a dozen times to refill, you know. Then we try to keep 2 or 3 spares in it if we can, just in case we have an issue, have something go down. We had a hydraulic go on one of the trucks we just couldn't get repaired, so we can get something back in that route while it's down and get back out there as soon as possible. During these larger events, we also keep someone in a loader on site so that truck, the guy that's on that route doesn't have to get out and get his own salt, jump into another piece of equipment, try to load it. There's someone right there at the ready to, you know, load up the trucks and keep them rolling. And also we partner with the city's schools so they come down and they get salt from us as well. Cost of salt this year was a lot lower, which is fabulous. Last year, it was like $30 more, and it was like a little over $97 last year per ton. This year, we got it for $66.84. And the calcium chloride that we add, it's a liquid that we add at the spinner to make the salt stick to the road a little bit more and make it also lowers the temperature that it treats at, so we can get into these cold temperatures that we're getting into and it actually works a little longer. That's about $1.34 per gallon. That first snow event, the really, really big one, this is kind of what we spent. We put all this information that we have into the CityWorks program and just kind of run reports on that. So this kind of does a breakdown of our labor, equipment, the materials cost. If you look at this one, on that first event, we used a little over 1,100 tons of salt and spent almost $74,000 just on salt to treat that event. The total cost for that first event was about $130,000. Then, you know, a few days later, the second one comes in. We used about 590 tons in that event and spent about $40,000 on salt for that one. That total cost for that event was about $72,000. So, I mean, the guys do an excellent job. Our 3 leaders, Craig Koger is our superintendent. He's been here for 20-some years. You know, Chris Haynes has been here for 26 years. Zettler's been here for 20-some years. So combined between the guys that are running this thing, there's 74 years of public works experience that are at the ready. I sent, you know, there was one time where I sent a picture of my watch to Koger. I was like at a heart rate of 69. I'm not worried. I know they've got us in the right hands. I was joking with him. I'm like, you know, you've got us, so I trust you.
Wasn't that, believe it. Right, yeah, a little different down there.
Yeah. This is, I know some of you know this already, but this is our Snow Informer app. It's a way that you can see when they've been on the streets. The guys use this to gauge, have we been on that street? Have we missed one? Is there something we got to do? It was a little off. There was a few vehicles that needed kind of flashed and updated, so we got those done after that first event. It was running really well on the second event, but we had a few spots where it wasn't quite showing on the first one, but it's dialed in now with the software. So you can kind of jump on there and see if we've been on the street in the last few years, or last few hours, and when we've been there. Yeah, a little slip there. That's really all I had. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update from the storm, but mainly bring these experts here in case you guys had any questions about it. Anything you wanted to ask them or anything, feel free. Mr. Mayor.
There's just so many positive comments that I think all of us received, and from people we don't normally get comments from, and they were positive. And that was it didn't cost that much, really, because there weren't multi-car accidents with terrible injuries and the like. And you compare our city with probably others around us, and I know Cincinnati had some issues. Man, I think you folks totally crushed it. And it didn't take too awful long until we started seeing the black asphalt on the street. And I thought it would take hours and hours and hours, but you folks did a great job.
Yeah, I kind of judge how well you did by, we were one of the few schools that didn't get called off because I think our roads were clean enough. Kids didn't like it, but it spoke to you guys in volumes.
Now, there was one day you guys definitely could have went, but everybody else was off. You kind of had to keep up with the Joneses.
Yep.
Mr. Mayor.
And during these events, we're doing the same kind of thing. We want to see how we're comparing to others. So, you know, when I'm driving around, I don't just drive our streets. I cruise over to Fairfield Township, hit, you know, Fairfield, the city of Fairfield, Liberty Township, the areas the Butler County handles, the areas the ODOT handles, look at 129. We want to know how we're doing to the others. And I mean, our crews are phenomenal, and they absolutely nailed it during this last event.
Vice Mayor Pullman, I think you want to say something.
Real quick, yeah, it's nice that I had some people that call me sometime with some bad comments all the time, and I got these calls during the snow, and they had great comments about how the streets were, and I was like, Jesus, this is a different call. But I was surprised how many good comments I've got, people that I've got out to see, and people say, man, we're not Cincinnati, you know, and I listen to the radio all day long and hear them complaining down there about how bad it was, and you guys did a great job, and it was just nice. It's nice to hear, and pretty proud when I'm listening to them complain about Cincinnati and how well we did in Hamilton. You guys did a great job, and so next time I'll hitch a ride. But I was actually plowing snow. Some of my family went out of town, and they called me and said, could you plow the lots? And I said, no, but I did. So I was out there. I didn't get a chance to go ride in the truck, but I'll catch it next time, hopefully next year. Okay, we don't need any more snow. So thanks for what you do.
Councilmember Nab?
Mr. Mayor, I had the pleasure of receiving 5 or 6 calls. And as Vice Mayor Pullman said, a lot of times we get calls that people have complaints, but these were all calls that said what a great job the team members did out on the roads. And as the mayor said, you're down to black asphalt the same day or the evening of the major snow that we had the first time and again the second time. But I also had the pleasure of stopping by the city garage at 9 o'clock one night. Matt Zettler was on as far as supervisor, and he let me in. And I couldn't get over there when you talked about technicians being at work, and the guys were working on a couple plows that had come in for service. So Kenny, you and your team, morning, noon, and night, and what they accomplished to keep the plows out on the road and do the work that they're doing. But Eddie, all of your guys, and Chris, all of your guys, and Matt and Craig, all to be congratulations. And again, Dan, your team and what you guys accomplished for, as Pat said, 2 major events, but they were pretty much seamless. So it was good to see our roads in great shape and get the calls that we got on the attaboys and congratulations and stuff. And of course, I took all the credit. So, you know.
Yeah.
But thank you.
Sure. The part I love to watch is that how they operate as a team. You know, it's not like I'm in Route 6 and I'm just going to do Route 6. They all know that the snow comes in different. It comes in different amounts on each side. Some areas ice over faster, some come clear faster. And you might finish up a route. Well, that doesn't mean you're just sitting there, you know, twiddling your thumbs. They all partner up and they take care of the other routes, and they all go home together. So it's not like it's selfish and you're just doing your area. You're helping your other teammate and getting this thing done, and that's why they look so good at the end, because they'll pair up and clean them out so they can go home.
You know, we got a great city team. You folks know that, who've been around for 26 weeks or 26 years. But a successful team always plans. Doesn't have crisis management, but of course crises happen, but plans. And I know I talked to Kenny, I've talked to Chris before the events, and it's amazing the planning that goes into it, because it makes the whole job that much easier. Maybe easier may not be the right word, but you know, you get through it because you plan so well. And thank you for the planning, because it was a success.
Mr. Mayor.
Council member?
Great job, guys. Tremendous. I know it's a sacrifice, you know, being out on the road, away from your families. So appreciate all your hard work, dedication, your service to keeping our roads clear and safe for all of us. And really appreciate the opportunity that I got to ride along. That's always fun, and it's eye-opening. And, you know, you really get to learn a lot more respect about, you know, what you guys are going through, you know, in the middle of the night with, you know, 30-mile-an-hour winds and 10-degree temperatures and some pretty dangerous conditions out there, you know, to service to the city. So thank you so much, and great job.
Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor.
Member Lauer?
I just want to say I appreciated riding with Jacob Isgro. I had a great time with him. He was very talkative and informative, which is unusual for Jacob to be so talkative. But I will say this, I was there for the shift change at 7 at night, and I want to say this, the pride that those guys showed, just communicating back and forth, trying to take care of the morning shift, trying to take care of the night shift, making sure that nobody was done wrong on the equal amount of work. But the one thing that really stuck out to me with the pride was I didn't hear any of your guys really complaining. They got after it, they put their nose to the ground and got it out of the way. I was very pleased about the overall attitude of our city garage, and it really served our citizens well, and I'm appreciative of that.
When I did the ride-along, I intentionally chose one of the younger guys. You know, I know these guys that have been doing it a while and are dialed in and know what they're doing, but I wanted to ride along with a younger guy, and I asked him, you know, we're riding along, I'm like, what do you think of this? Do you like removing snow? Do you not like it? And he said, I enjoy it. I said, you do? I said, you're in the truck for this many hours, you like it? He said, yeah. He said, I'm from here, I love it here. And he said, it sounds silly, but I feel like I'm making a difference. And I said, you are making a difference. And so he feels pride in what he's doing there, and, you know, and is dialed in on that. I mean, it's awesome.
He's top-notch, Jacob Isgro.
Mr. Mayor,
Please.
if I could just close this out.
Definitely.
And thank you guys, and I hope the comments that have been relayed from the community and from council, I hope they resonate with you guys, and I hope you go back and share that with all the folks who put in all the time and all the effort. It's really important for them to hear that and know how much they're appreciated and supported. So thank you guys.
A round of applause for these guys. Okay, we now go to audience of citizens. Individuals who wish to make comments can make comments during this part of the agenda, or may reserve the right to speak when the item is up for a vote on the council floor. All individuals who are going to be speaking, I'm not quite ready, Jim, are required to sign this public speaking book, and Jim, you ready? No, it wasn't mean, but he was
What's
walking
that
up to
Dallas
the podium.
coach name? You just did that to him.
But let's just say that each person's allowed 5 minutes.
Okay,
Jim,
there's a bunch
Happy
of
New Year to you, Jim.
Okay, I'm talking about potholes. The one on 3rd Street and or 2nd Street. I said, right at High Street, going toward High Street from the, say, from the Mission. Okay, there are a whole bunch of potholes right there, a bunch of them. You can't miss it. Whole bunch of them right in the corner, right in the corner.
Right on 4th Street,
For 3rd Street,
close to the Mission.
3rd Street and 3rd Street and High.
Okay.
On the south side, I guess. And then also there's a big pothole over on under the bridge right out here. Big one going toward the city part. The city.
Got down the Mission, 3rd and High, and
Under the bridge, in the middle lane.
okay.
The big ones too. They fixed one over on 3rd Street, but on bad again. You know, because I guess you know.
Well, when you're cleaning the streets as well as our people do, sometimes the potholes might get just a little bit worse. But we get to them, and we've been successful in improving the situation. We have been.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you about it, because it's dangerous, you know.
Yep.
For drivers especially.
Well, we got the best people to do the job.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Have a good night.
Good night. Bob Harris. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Bob Harris, 429 South 2nd Street, Southeast Civic Association President. I want to always thank, council and city workers for all the things that they've done for us, and we're ready to, get off the ground and start running. And number one, Pat, we're going to have bike race this year, so I want you to start getting ready.
I'm gonna train.
Well, we're going to do a bike race, and we talked about doing some foot races for the kids. We also talked about like coffee with council, but we'd like for it to be through the week in the afternoons. So we're gonna work on some dates and get that back to you and see what we can put together. So we're looking for a good year, and we got 3 men that I know that are dedicated and working to make things happen. And even when we disagree, we find a way to make it happen. So those 3 on Southeast and CAC is the city manager and the Councilman Lauer and Bob Harris. So we're gonna lead the way, we're gonna make it happen, and we ask you to join us and help us make Hamilton, all it can be. Thank you, and once again, Happy New Year, and I'm out of your hair for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. We'll all work together for success, right? Okay. That takes care of the audience of citizens. We now go to the consent agenda, and that includes items such as all the staff reports, all caucus reports, our meeting minutes, information report from November 2024 finance report, and information report, which is the November 2024 investment report. Now we're going to go into the committee of the whole, and that gives us an opportunity on council to ask questions, provide direction, comment on reports on some of the matters coming before us. I'll set the motion that the regular meeting be recessed and the committee of the whole take place.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Fear, seconded by Vice Mayor Pullman. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried at 6:24 p.m. Going to lead us in this, Mr. City Clerk?
Yes, sir. So our first presentation will be made by our municipal arborist, Mr. Dave Bieneman.
All right, glad to be here tonight. Haven't talked before council in a few years, so glad to be here again.
Well,
really excited to be here. I think last year we applied for and got a $300,000 grant from the U.S. Forest Service, no DNR. We're administrating that. We also have 8 research projects going on, so there's another $1 million floating out there in work, and being a one-person department with 4 interns from Miami and UC, it's pretty busy. So the Wilkes family approached us back in November. They contacted Liz and her team and said, hey, we'd like to have a grant. A lot of trees have come down due to emerald ash borer in the past few years, or dead or dying trees. So they go, what would you like to take on? And administrating $1.2 million in grants already, I was like, I'd gladly take another grant. So we worked out the grant. We applied for $200,000, and the Wilkes Family Foundation was gracious enough to provide us that grant. And that's going to allow us to purchase 1,750 trees. We're going to do 350 a year. We're going to give them out, half of them to citizens to plant in their yard to reforest the canopy across the city. And then we're going to plant the other 175 in green spaces, city parks across our city, and where we have open spaces. So it's going to be a pretty big project. So part of the grant is to pay for an intern full-time, buy another water truck, some equipment. So half the grant will cover that. So we actually have maintenance working. And the whole idea is we're going to use native trees, keystone trees that are native to our area and part of the state, stay away from non-native. And the whole idea is to improve our ecosystem, pollinators, and I'm sure you all know that monarchs are heading toward the threatened and endangered list. And we've already been doing a monarch research project on our green up transmission in Kentucky, Meldo, and Southern Ohio, and up here the last 5 years. So we're prepping for what you can and cannot do. And other things we're doing, just to let you know kind of what this grant is, with 4 bats being threatened and endangered, we have to look out for what we can plant, where we can plant. So there's a lot more to just getting a grant behind the scenes. But I'll come back in April and we'll work on that. But we're really excited for the Wilkes family. Barbara will be here to participate in the resolution. But just to just to show you some pictures of what the trees will look like, 5-gallon trees. They're about 6 to 8 feet tall. And we've been giving away 100 trees a year through our Hamilton Utilities Energy Saving Program. And so I've asked all our citizens as they plant the trees and get the trees to send me pictures back. And so what you're seeing is some of the pictures of the trees that have been planted. So it's a really great opportunity for our city. We'll be doing a marketing program in August, roll it out in September, and pretty much We'll have it set up just kind of like you can go online through a 311 and request a tree, and we just verify you live within the city limits of Hamilton, and you'll get your tree, and it's really exciting, and you can see in one of the pictures up there, let's see if I can hit it. Let's see the red dot there, the school children right kind of in the middle there. So we're going to involve school children, Girl Scouts, and then we have the Nature Center at Joyce Park on Joe Nuxall Way, and we already have an oak ecology research. We're putting experimental forest in, and we're planting another 30 sequoias from Cal Berkeley out there. So we're going to have the redwoods of Hamilton for people to come see. You don't have to go to California. You can just go out to Joyce Park. So I thank you. That's all I had, just really quick. And just want to thank everybody here. If it wasn't for your awesomeness, obviously I wouldn't have a job. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for planting the right trees, Dave, and let council know when you have some of these gatherings when people are planting, and we can help celebrate with them. Could you give a portfolio like that of photos to the Wilkes family?
Sure.
There's multiple pages, that's even better. I mean, just so they know and can know how much we appreciate. I mean, that's incredible, 1,750 trees.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dave.
And our last item on our caucus agenda will be presented. Yes.
I did one thing. I did bring some calendars, so Daniel's got them all. This is called Art in the Parks, and so for any of the public, I'll leave them here. So the pictures are trees in the parks and art in the park. That was our theme. So just real quick, little commercial, good stuff.
How many you got there, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, there's quite a few here, so enough for council. So there's enough. And if anybody needs any, just give me a call, 311 Dave. I'll bring one back.
And our next presentation will be made by our Director of Business Services, Ms. Christine Carr.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. So I am here tonight to request authorization to submit a loan application to the Water Pollution Control Fund. This is through the Ohio EPA, and to accept those loan funds if offered. So this is for a large project at our water reclamation facility. There's much needed investment over at that facility. You actually saw this project and a loan application for this in July of '24. And due to the way the pricing came back, we're having to come back with a revised amount. So this project was included in the 2025 budget and in the budget presentation. Design was completed in '24. So it'll be a multi-year project. So in '25, if approved, we would be purchasing a lot of the equipment and materials for the project, and then construction would happen in 2026. Have any questions about this?
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that concludes our presentations.
I'll set the motion. The committee of the whole be closed.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Nab. First by Councilmember Nab, second by Councilmember Fear. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried. It is 6:30. I'll set the motion that the regular meeting be reconvened.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Lauer. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller.
Yes?
Pullman.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
6:31. We now go to actions pertaining to legislative items, and I'll accept the motion.
Mayor,
Vice Mayor Pullman.
move that a note be made upon the minutes that each member of council was furnished a printed copy of each item of legislation prior to its being considered at this meeting.
Second.
Motion by Vice Mayor Pullman, second by Councilmember Fear. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that motion is carried, and that is at 6:31 p.m. We now go to pending legislation, agenda item number 3, which is the second reading of an ordinance involving the purchase and sale agreement for certain property on Main Street.
An ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to execute a purchase and sale agreement and related actions related to certain real property located adjacent to 606 Main Street, Hamilton, Ohio 45013, parcel number P641101000045, City of Hamilton property owner Carlos and Sharon Freitas, purchaser, second reading.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move the ordinance be adopted.
Second. By Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Ryan. Any discussion on this one? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Moeller,
Yes?
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Ordinance adopted, 7-0.
Thank you. We now go to new legislation. Agenda item number 4, it's an emergency ordinance involving reassigning pay ranges for fire department jobs.
An emergency ordinance amending Schedule A of the city's classification and compensation plan as set forth in emergency ordinance number EOR 2024-12-117, adopted December 11th, 2024, amended from time to time by reassigning the pay ranges for the Fire Division EMS Assistant and Fire Prevention Assistant classifications. First reading.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 5, first reading of an ordinance involving vacating portion of some alleys, City of Hamilton.
An ordinance vacating a portion of South 11th Street Alley located between Maple Avenue Alley A and Maple Avenue Alley B, and to vacate a portion of Maple Avenue Alley B located between South 11th Street and East Avenue, 4th Ward, City of Hamilton, Ohio. City of Hamilton petitioner, first reading.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 6, first reading of an ordinance involving the new job classification, event and media production technician.
An ordinance amending Schedule D2 of the city's classification and compensation plan as set forth in emergency ordinance number EOR 2023-4-44, adopted April 12, 2023, by adding the new classification of the event and media production technician. First reading.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 7, first reading of an ordinance involving some property located near Crawford Woods School.
An ordinance dedicating 2,587 square feet and 1,755 square feet of 2150 Hensley Avenue, City Part Lot Number 319562 as right-of-way located on Hensley Avenue at the corner of Hancock Avenue, 5th Ward, Hamilton, Ohio, City of Hamilton applicant, first reading.
Thank you. We go to agenda item number 8, resolution involving the transfer of liquor permit to Gator Sports Bar LLC, and involving a request for a hearing on a liquor permit.
A resolution objecting to the application for the transfer of a D5 and D6 liquor permit to Gators Sports Bar LLC from J. Mad Ox LLC, doing business as Mad Ox Brew and Q's, located at 1079 Millville Avenue, Hamilton, Ohio, 45013, and directing the city clerk to request a hearing to determine whether such liquor permit request shall be denied.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn.
I move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, seconded by Councilmember Knapp. Any comments, questions on this one?
Mr. Mayor, just
Mr. Vaughn.
remind me, does this come back before council after a hearing, or does a hearing take care of it?
The hearing takes care of it, is that correct, Madam Law Director?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it will not come back to City Council for any kind of vote. We will have this process request the hearing, and
Right.
then it goes before the state for a hearing, which determines the outcome of whether it will be granted or denied.
Public hearing in Columbus, or is it here?
They typically will have it here, right here in council chambers.
So if there were people in the public who wanted to know about it, speak during it, that's all available?
That is available.
Great.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Pullman.
Petition on this right here, if, so you're saying when it gets down to the hearing on here, they still have a possibility of getting a liquor license over there?
Yeah, so they'll have due process, and it's like a quasi-court, proceeding in which there'll be someone that will hear arguments. They'll typically have an attorney that will present why they believe the reasons that we're objecting to are not valid, and then we will present our arguments and present witnesses, et cetera.
Unfortunately, the guy that had a lot of problem with this bar next door to him just passed away, so it's sad because they put him through living hell for years over there, and I'm very familiar with it. So it's okay. I just want to see how that proceeds.
But it's just as a follow-up to council members Vaughn's question. I mean, if council wants an update, we can provide that. It wouldn't come before council for city action, but we can update you on the proceedings.
I think we'd all like to have an update, is that correct?
I would like to have an
I
update on
would,
that.
yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay.
We've had a motion.
Any other discussion? We've already got the first and second. We're in the discussion stage. Anybody else have any questions or comments about this particular piece of legislation, this resolution? Okay. Hearing none, roll call vote.
Moeller,
Yes?
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 9. It's also a resolution about the transfer of a liquor permit to GP Seymour LLC, and also requesting a hearing on the liquor permit itself.
A resolution objecting to the application for the transfer of a C1, C2, and D6 liquor permit to GP Seymour LLC from Central BP Gas LLC, doing business as BP, located at 11578 Central Avenue, Hamilton, Ohio, 45011, and directing the city clerk to request a hearing to determine whether such liquor permit request shall be denied.
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Vaughn?
I move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Ryan. Comments, questions on this particular resolution? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Moeller,
Yes?
Pullman,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, 7-0.
Go to agenda item number 10, which is a resolution involving AT&T tariff application at the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio.
A resolution supporting the Ohio Municipal League's challenge of AT&T's tariff application at the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio.
Anyone doing a presentation on this?
I believe we have some folks from infrastructure who'd like to talk about this.
Great. Mr. Dan Arthur again.
I'm gonna pull it up in just a second.
Okay. I can actually just kind of start talking on this one a little bit while he's pulling that slides up. It's just one slide, but this was a strange one that came in last Wednesday. I was notified by the Public Works Director from Fairfield that there was an issue that had been brought to his attention, that the Ohio Municipal League was challenging a tariff that AT&T was taking to the Public Utility Commission of Ohio. And so a lot of the language in that thing, it was slid in there at the last minute and given to the Public Utility Commission of Ohio on December 18th. No one really saw that it had came in, and then all of a sudden we had to scramble because they have to have their answer within 31 days or it automatically goes into effect, whether the PUCO rules on that or not. If they just abstain and don't do anything, it would have automatically went into effect. So we were scrambling, sent all that information to our local American Public Works Association board, talked with all of them, said, hey, have you guys seen this? Everybody was trying to scramble to get legislation in front of our councils and see if we could support that effort. The concern of it is the high cost that this could have impact on all cities, and it's not just incorporated areas either, it's counties. So actually, Ellen Messer and I were riding together yesterday, and Greg Wilkins called and said, hey, have you guys seen this? That the counties are all, he's heavily involved with all the counties, and they're all upset about it and up in arms too. So what we have heard is that they've pulled that as of just a little bit before this meeting. That has been pulled, so I think we're all right with that, but we would like to move the resolution forward just in case they come back at it with some sort of, another direction, or change things. We'd like to show that we are in support of the Ohio Municipal League and fighting against that. I think I did all that from memory. What have we got now? Yeah, the unfortunate thing is we would have to pay them for any relocations that they do, whether it's on a pole, whether it's underground. That would be paid by the city for any relocations, and it didn't matter if it was reason for health or public safety or welfare. It was carte blanche. Whatever they had to move it, we were paying for it. And so everybody scrambled as fast as we could. Fairfield got it passed with their legislation on Monday. They passed it. I know Dayton was involved, and they were going to pass it as well. And we had to kind of notify. Chris Miller's kind of handling that for Taft Law. He's working on behalf of the Ohio Municipal League, and so we're just asking to pass that to support their efforts.
Couple things. So this is a private company that's making money off of our citizens, and if we need to relocate something in the best interest of the city, they want us to pay them for their relocation expense.
Absolutely, and the fear of that is there's so many companies out there, so it would be a domino effect. I mean, Duke Energy could follow suit, Verizon Wireless, T-Mobile, everybody, all these telecoms. You know, once got that in there, they would all try to get that in there. So
and what kind of bothers me is I wish the Public Utility Commission of Ohio could change the way they accept these applications so a default or doing nothing doesn't already allow that just to pass through without discussion or input. I mean, I think it's a bad way of doing business that benefits the public. They're there to benefit the public. The Utility Commission is.
Right.
If they do nothing, like, luckily it wasn't like November 25th to December 25th or something like that, because doing nothing should not, in that situation, pass it, so to speak. I mean, that's
Correct.
And December 18th is a difficult time to file something and expect everything to be done by January the 19th or 18th, whatever day would have been.
yes, I agree. And us passing this you guys passing this wouldn't have any financial implications on the city. It's just saying that we're supporting them to fight against this.
Mr.
Yes,
Mayor?
please.
Dan, it seems like this happens often. Is it just dumb luck that somebody notices that it's in there? Because they don't give you there's not like a checklist where they say, hey, we're putting this in there. They actually can just go ahead and insert it.
As far as I know.
I mean, I'd be in favor of a resolution saying we're opposed to sneaking things in, this kind of stuff. I mean, this is crazy that,
Right,
especially when it affects so many people.
yeah.
I mean, how do we get noticed on this, or do we get noticed really? Are they required to notify us by certified mail, by something far enough in advance that you can actually plan the resolutions?
I was surprised that, the Ohio Municipal League heard about it so late as well. I mean, they were the ones that sent out the notification on the 8th or 9th of, well, it was that far along already, so. And I think there's like 300 members, cities that are members of that as well. So I think they're kind of working as that liaison for us to help. And that's where we found out, but it was one that was trying to kind of push it underneath.
I think years ago, when they had Scott Owens, Scott was the one that was always finding this. He was always bringing it to our attention, but he got into the habit of he just was always looking for it. He and his staff were always looking for something suspicious in any kind of bill at the last minute.
Any other comments? Thank you for working on this. Any other comments? Okay, are we ready for a roll call vote on this?
I believe we still need a motion and a second.
Yeah, about a motion and a second. That makes.
So moved.
Motion made by Council Member, Vice Mayor Pullman, I'm sorry.
Second.
Seconded by Council Member Fear. Any other discussion or comments on this one? Hearing none, roll call vote.
Moeller.
Yes.
Pullman.
Yes.
Fear.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Nab.
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Resolution adopted, 7-0.
Audience to the City Manager.
Mr. Mayor, other than just reiterating our thanks to Public Works crews and all their effort, that's all for tonight.
Audience to City Council.
Mr. Mayor?
Councilmember Ryan.
Welcome back, Council. Happy New Year to all of you. Looking forward to an exciting 2025 with everybody and staff. Hope you had a great holiday and well-deserved rest. So Happy New Year to all of you. I want to thank David Stark and the folks at ArtSpace. They sent Council a letter supporting our efforts for Amtrak. So appreciate them stepping up and showing their support. I'm sure we will be getting more letters from other folks soon. That being said, a couple of us have a meeting with Amtrak's Government Affairs Division tomorrow afternoon. So we're looking forward to getting a nice update from those folks and opening up some additional communication and seeing what the year holds on their end with us. So I'll keep Council updated. Thank you.
Thank you. Other comments from council?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilmember Lauer.
I have a couple things here from Hamilton High School. I really appreciate the path that the school and our city has taken together in working on some of the things. I think there's a couple exciting things. I'm speaking with John Zeri. We had 19 students completed a pre-apprenticeship during the first semester at Hamilton High School for the first time. Our group students took a field trip to the main branch to take a tour and see the inner workings of the company. The students also got to sit down with the CEO and showcase some of the work they completed during their semester-long pre-apprenticeship. With Durana Hybrid, students were able to test on-site at Hamilton High School this year for their NCCER core certification. 12 students earned credit towards this industry recognized certification. I just think that kind of goes with everything that we've been trying to accomplish with Miami, getting our students prepared for jobs that are actually in our community. I'm very pleased with John Zeri's efforts in the Hamilton City Schools, and it just complements everything that we're trying to do with the city, trying to fill jobs here. Also, I have to bring up the fine arts. The marching band leaves tomorrow afternoon for a performance at Walt Disney World. Paul Dixon, Pat Naylor, and Laura Omates are taking 87 students. The band will march in an evening parade through the Magic Kingdom on Saturday and have time to explore some of the parks. This is a well-earned experience as the Hamilton High School Marching Band has earned superior ratings at area and state OMEA competitions, as well as performing at the Grand National Championships in 2024 at Lucas Oil Stadium. The band has been on the go since July 4th parade. By band, I mean the students, the directors, and the band parents who have been fundraising for this trip along with the other events. They do a great job. As a football coach and been around a lot of places, I want to take my hat off to the band. They often don't get enough credit, but man, it's a very unique experience that makes the Friday Night Light experience better for everybody. They give so much pride, and they're so good at what they do. They need to be complimented. I'm very appreciative of those three, and of course, I have to be appreciative of Wendy. But they're doing a great job. So appreciate it.
Councilmember Lauer, I mean, let's see if we can't get 87 people into this room. Maybe we could get seniors into this room and with the advisors, Mr. Dixon and like, and throw some photos up there on the screen and just say thank them. I mean, we've given them proclamations at the school, but let's have them come here, be on TV Hamilton, and hear our applause for them. If you can set that up, that would be great.
Yes, sir.
Certifications, I mean, that is so important. I mean, whether it's certifications through the school or through Self's Build Up Academy, you get a certification, you can carry that with you to job interviews and the like, and thanks for bringing up the certifications being done at Hamilton High School. Anybody else? If I've got it right, on Monday, January 20th, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Walk is starts off again this year, 11 o'clock at the Booker T. Washington Community Center, proceeds to St. Paul's Church on Front Street, 12 o'clock program, and I think they're having, Pastor Leroy Brown will be speaking at the program. So it's a good way to recognize the accomplishments of Dr. King, and a good way also to talk to your neighbors as you walk down the street. Anything else? If not, executive session, sir.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, to consider confidential information related to personal financial statements of an applicant for economic development assistance, and to consider the appointment, employment, or compensation of a public employee or official.
Okay, I've got to read a special motion. Is that correct, Madam Law Director?
Yes, for the first item.
I'll set the motion that the executive session is found necessary to protect the interests of the applicant or the possible investment or expenditure of public funds to be made in connection with the economic development project.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Vice Mayor Pullman, second by Councilmember Nab. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller,
Yes?
Pullman,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Then I'll set the motion that council go into executive session for the stated purposes given by our city manager.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Councilmember Vaughn, second by Councilmember Fear. Roll call vote on that motion, please.
Moeller,
Yes?
Pullman,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Fear,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Nab,
Yes.
Lauer.
Yes.
Motion adopted, 7-0.
Both those motions were adopted at 6:53. We're going to go into executive session, and we'll come out of it just to adjourn the regular meeting, so there'll be no more business on the record. Thank you all for being here, being part of the system.